Hello, my people. Welcome. This is Artsy Wisdom. My name is Diane. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate any and all likes and subscribes. I'm so excited about my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Continue to share, comment. I have tried to, I'm going to shift up a little bit. And I've decided to do a reading for the year. And I'm using tarot cards for it. And I've already pulled 3 for each month. And I've been thinking about us as Americans. Okay, anybody who's not interested in U.S. stuff, then I forgot this is what this is about. So just so you know. I have been thinking about the divisiveness and I'm not immune to it. You know, it's very easy to get sucked into the fear and drama and anger. So what I decided to do, and as I work on my channel, I want to aim for bringing more light or positivity into the world. I do have opinions and I'm human, so there's that. But for the most part, I want to do that. And one of my spirit guides is Moses, believe it or not. And he has told me in the past is that if you have a goal and you feel like you're getting off track, is to stay in the knowing, the part of you that understands the knowing. So if you feel like you're being drawn off the path, you know that it feels better to go this way than that way. Stay where you feel is that deep sense of knowing. And sometimes it's not joyful. Sometimes it's just, that's the direction, even though I have to figure out how to go that way. If that makes any sense. So I'm doing that. Figuring it out as I go. So what I wanted to do, so let's get started. So each month I'm going to pull, I have these 3 cards for each month for 2024. And I'm going to give you a positive rendition and then the shadow side of how it could go. And the other thing I've been thinking about is, as Americans, the media and advertisers and how culture is right now and politicians, they really seem to make things very, they want to promote anger because it helps get money and helps you fight the good fight or whatever it is, whoever side you're on. But I really would like to work towards finding a subset or the group of commonalities. So say you have your Democratic cookie over here and your Republican, maybe this is oatmeal with raisin and this is chocolate chip and this is independence, could be like a little almond cookie with powdered sugar on it. So what is the commonality in there that as Americans, what is it that we all share? Flour, sugar, butter. But there's a lot of things each of us don't have that we don't like what the other one is, but we do want those common things. So I'm going to focus that in the knowing that that's where I'm working towards. So just be aware that I'm working on a common cookie cause. I remember a time when Americans, we disagreed, but we didn't want to kill each other so much. I mean, we got angry, but there was no fear for your life or getting punched out. Okay, because I think in general we're all the same, really are. And I know everybody wants the same, that flour and sugar and butter of our lives, which is safety, having a good job, raising a family with secure environment, clean water, clean air, our economy doing well, all of those things. So I think that's where we need to focus. And sometimes we just get pulled by the other, the drama, the fear makers. Okay, so anyway, I was going to say something about the chocolate chip makers or the grape or the raisin or the oats or whoever's trying to tell you you have the wrong type of cookie and yours doesn't taste as good as ours, but they're all delicious, right? So, weird analogy. All right, so I pulled, like I said, 3 cards for every month. So February, I started next month. February is Ace of Rods, which is about fire, ideas, creative spark. Eight of Swords and a Three of Cups. Let me see if I can. These are my very old cards. It's like one of my first decks that I ever used. So they have really cool pictures. So what I interpret it as, I'm imagining a budget fight because it's going to probably linger. I don't see it getting resolved until February. I picture somebody having a really good idea, or a group of people have a really good idea, which could be this, and they're all talking very quietly. It's either they're trying to work it out behind the scenes, behind closed doors, before they bring it to the full Senate, the full Congress, whatever that is, and get approval. I feel like that's it. But the good thing about this, great ideas, and people working together. So in February, I don't know how that's going to manifest exactly, but that's the feeling I get. I do see the Eight of Swords where I feel like people are going to feel stuck because a lot of the politics, the way it's made right now, is people are resistant, or certain sides are resistant to agreeing with the other, party because they want to look like they're standing tough. So I think that's what the Eight of Swords is people are kind of stuck. But I do feel like it's happening. So February, there is, I think, a positive direction in that regard. And somebody's got a really good idea. And I can see this card here. See the Ace of Wands? And I think that's like Capitol Hill in the background. Yeah. So good ideas in February. I think somebody's ready to move forward. There is kind of talk to get things moving. Now, the shadow side of that is, again, somebody standing firm and not allowing any changes. And this could be interpreted as talking behind closed doors and like coming up with a strategy to say, no, let's not ever give in, kind of thing. Our chocolate chips are better than the raisins, and our raisins are better than the chocolate chips, so we can't let them mix together. So I feel like that is, so let's focus on the positive. I think that's a really good direction to go. Somebody's got a really good idea. And I feel like it could be from anybody, but it's in the larger, and it could be related to other countries like Gaza or Israel or something. There's something else. Maybe it's related to the payments and how to integrate that into the budget. I think that might be something in that regard. March. Now, March has got the Empress, which is another creative, abundant card, also a major arcana, so it's an overarching theme. Eight of Cups, which is about leaving trials and tribulations behind, but also having a lot of goodness and a lot of growth, so you're ready to move on. And Four of Swords is about, recovering after a battle and meditating and resting. So again, this is very similar vibe in March. I feel very positive about it because it could be about farmers or people starting the growth on their property or on their land or real estate, or things picking up speed in regards to the economy, housing, that kind of thing. And I do feel like this could turn into a lot of people moving houses, a lot of people going to brighter things, bigger and brighter things. And it also could be leaving drama behind, if you want to look at it that way. I also see the Four of Swords as a resting, and like everybody's going to take a break. Like it's okay. Things are okay for right now. It could be because they come up with a budget decision. They agree moderately or semi-moderately to stay in a certain lane when it comes to budget, and everybody tolerates it. Maybe it has to do with the border money. But it looks like there's a rest. It's like growth and then rest. And it feels really good. That's March. The underside, or the shadow side, is there's a lot of growth and people are leaving the table. They don't want to talk anymore. They're ready to just really stand firm and be quiet and don't talk. And these are both not necessarily very talkative. They're more about just what this one is about, lying low, and this one's about moving on. But overall, I think for Americans, I think this is a really positive thing. I feel like the economy is growing. I do feel like there could be some help for overseas, like we have to send some help overseas again, which we have been. That's not new, but we're so lush and abundant in this country. So I think there is going to be some relaxation after some drama, some excitement and discussions in February. Okay, April. April's a very important month. I got 3 major arcanas. We've got the Hermit, which he has his lantern showing and guiding the way. Wheel of Fortune, which is 10 or 1 in numerology. It's the ending and the beginning. We've got the Fool, same thing, leap of faith, starting, taking risks. And then we've got the Four of Wands, or Four of Rods, which is celebration, weddings, fun times. So April looks like it is going to be the ending and the beginning. We are going through that Pluto in Aquarius is coming in May, but the sense is happening. The optimism is growing little by little. Today might not feel it when you see this, but it is. Our cookies are going to combine eventually, and we're going to all be okay. But in April, it feels really positive. I see his lantern as the Hermit, as spiritually guided. There's going to be maybe there's an angelic force over us. Maybe there's a wonderful, this is the optimism I was referring to, that we can see in the dark, that we can see a light at the end of the tunnel. And the Wheel of Fortune is very beneficial. That's when, and I feel like that is telling me that the economy is doing good. Something is doing really well. And there's some good news that's going to come out. And that's the celebration card in April. And starting over, taking a risk. So there'll be people who might, because maybe mortgage rates will go down and they're going to start buying houses and things are going to pick up. So I feel like that would be April. There's a big shift in April, really big shift in a positive way. The downside, or the shadow side, I should say, is, I don't even see a shadow side here, is that people might want to be resistant to it. And they're like still stuck in the old mentality that it's never going to get better. It's never going to get better. Maybe there's a few things that don't do great. Maybe crypto has a dip or something. And they are scared to start over or to see life in a different way, because we've gone through years of this. So to see life differently and to take that leap of faith might be really hard. So that's the shadow side, but it's definitely beneficial. The energy's moving. Wheel is spinning in a really positive way. So that's April. May. May is also very good. We've got 2 important people or energies. We've got a female energy who is very fiery, Aries, Sag, or Leo. And then we've got King of Swords, which is about unemotional, justice, very intelligent, doing things very good for everyone and without getting caught in any kind of fear or drama. It's just straightforward. This is what we need to do. We're going to do that. And it's got more of a masculine energy. And then we have the sun. May is the beginning of summer-ish. And so I'm wondering if this is, I don't know when Congress goes out for their summer break, but that could be part of this. These 2 people are kind of arguing, but I don't feel like it's going to take over everything. I feel like they're competing, their wills, it's a competition of wills. Also, the conventions are happening in, I don't know if it's June or July, but this is part of this. So there's the, we're better, you're better kind of thing. And the most positive way that is because we're all being represented. So, and then the sun. So overarching theme is positivity and really good stuff in May. The underside or the shadow side would be maybe the heat. Maybe there's some heat and people are maybe arguing about what to do about it. Climate. But I really think, I don't know, look at the happy face. Look at the little guy. Really positive. It's hard not to be happy when you look at that. And this is a 19, and that's 10, 1, another starting. So May is also very good, but I do feel like we might fall back in. I think sometime in May, we're going to get back into these. Somebody's going to invent maybe something more drama. Again, with the cookie analogy, they might really start a campaign against chocolate chip or oatmeal raisin cookies. Hello, it's later. I am now working on June. I have the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Six of Swords. I look at the Six of Swords and I think we are going to be doing some overseas stuff. The most positive angle on that is that we are helping out, I don't know if the Red Sea thing with the Yemen, the Houthis bombarding the ships there. I do feel like that's part of it, but I feel like that is a group of countries, several countries getting together and helping. We're in January. I'm doing this in January, but they might by then have a coalition to protect the Red Sea for the trade route. I think that's part of that. And I see the Five of Cups, which isn't necessarily an awesome card, but in June, I see that somebody's resolved or resigned to the fact that something isn't going as well as they thought. So it's a acceptance card. It's okay. And the first step towards recovery is accepting that your life has become unmanageable. And that's kind of what I think this is. So it's a really positive thing towards healing. And that's in June. And then we have Four of Pentacles, which is about saving money and being, protecting your assets. Sometimes it could be on the low end of it, but I feel like this is really being careful about our budget and being careful about how we spend our money, and resigned to what is. Acceptance of what is instead of blaming the other cookie or the other ingredient, whatever it is. And I think that it's a step. So last month was a really positive, sunshiny thing. But it's moved on to more of a real world, get your hands dirty. Not bad, just getting your hands dirty, moving forward. Hard decisions are moving forward. Now I know in June, I don't know if the Congress and Senate, I think they take summers off quite often. Maybe it's just July and August. So June, they may still be in session. There's going to be some worry about budgets. Even though I think by then everything will be decided, but there'll be discussions on how to spend the economic wealth. And the positive side of that is that we have it. The downside or the shadow side is that there will be a lot of fear in the political world because they're going to blame one side or the other. That you use too much of, flour, butter, and sugar to make your cookie. So that's the thing. I feel like there's going to be a blame game going on in June. And I think the nominations are happening usually June and July for each party. So there's going to be that. But there is going to be a release. So the positive side, there is going to be moving forward. The shadow side is that there will be some grievance. A lot of grievance going on, unfortunately. And that's June. July, we've got the Two of Rods, the Three of Rods, and the Temperance. Balance, balance, balance. We're going to be pulling, and the Three of Rods is somebody who already has a partner, waiting for that other partner. So obviously this is going to be a lot of announcements about the presidential running mates. I did hear today that Trump is thinking about Elise Stefanik, I think, as his running mate. I always knew it would be a woman that he'd be running with or have as vice president. There is some other, again, with the boats. Can you see out there? Those are boats. There is an attraction I feel like we're attracting wealth, because these are related to United States. We're attracting wealth. This feels like somebody's coming towards us, something given. So there is some really powerful give and take in July. I feel like it's super positive. This could be with Europe or Asia or other countries that we partner with trade wise. Very cool. I feel like that's very exciting and very positive in July. And it's a matter of balancing how that appears or how we can sell it to the, different people, and balance it to where we can use it to our advantage. Meaning one of the parties, one way or the other. But I do definitely think in July, the person will have been decided. They will start moving forward. The running mates, Biden probably will stick with Kamala Harris, and I don't know, Trump may go with this Elise Stefanik. Not sure. But I feel like it's setting the stage. That's where we are in July. We're setting the stage for the great cookie battle. And those poor almond cookies with their powdered sugar, they don't get much love down there, but we'll all have that shared common denominator, common subset. So July, I think, is really positive in that regard, because we're moving forward. Everything is moving forward as time does. Nothing stops changing. Nothing. Everything keeps progressing and changing. And there's going to be a shift in regard to partnerships, other countries, other trades, trade agreements. And that's going to really help either the administration or the Biden administration, or how people see each other as Americans. I'm not sure how that will be exactly manifested. But it's fire, it's creativity, it's really a positive thing. And like I said, the downside is maybe somebody will say it's the wrong the wrong country and we shouldn't be dealing with them. Could be about war, helping Israel and Gaza, or Israel and Ukraine. And I know today Pakistan's fired some shots into Iran against the militants there. And so I think there might be some energy around shared goals country-wise in July. All right, August. I know the Senate and Congress is in session. Two of Pentacles, juggling two very important things, trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. Nine of Cups. This is the wish card. This is a very nice card for getting what we want. And this is the High Priestess. Things that we don't even know are going on. So how I interpret this is there's going to be some background talks or backroom talks where we are going to get money or securities or economic benefits from other countries or people that we hadn't thought of before. And that was last month, and now it's really going to come to fruition in August. There may be some mysteries on the downside of that. It may be some hidden secrets, things that they don't want us to know exactly how it was done. So that's the only bad thing. It could be in August somebody is like some of these dark companies like BlackRock and things like that pay money to get their way, might be part of this. But it is, I would say, 2/3 positive, if I could put a number on it. 2/3 positive in August. Yeah, so that would be the shadow side, would be secrets. Secrets about how this money is spent, where this money goes, that sort of thing. And I also see him as the Supreme Court Justice. I don't know why. So there could be some, on the downside, some money going towards the justices somehow, some way that they make decisions. But I also think they're gone in the summer as well. I don't think they're in session. Somebody's getting very fat with this money. This is also could be a political party, the Nine of Cups. People are very happy with something in August. That's going to go their way. Yeah, it could be the government in general. Could be political parties are going to get donations and help them out. Yeah. So September, I'm just taking it, see what comes along in my mind. 10 of Swords. That's an ending or a beginning, depending on how you look at it. King of Cups, a very feeling man. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Joe Biden is a Scorpio. Hangman, 12. Different perspective, seeing things differently, spiritually, changing your mind, but slowly, goes very slowly. So September, positively, we as a country are starting to see things differently. There's going to be some shifts in perspective. Maybe it comes from a sudden aha. Maybe the secrets from last month are going to be known. But this is, like I said, a spiritual card that is positive, that is a very slow, oh, this is what's going on. Okay. And you allow it to percolate in. You allow it to learn. Sometimes we don't want to look at the things that are really important because they're scary. This is helping you do that. So this is September, and things are going to get more and more visible. And there will be a really strong ending and a new beginning in September. There's going to be an end to something that's been, I'm taking it as a trauma to the United States. I don't feel like it's super like an ending of anything like city-wise. It's more of a energetic ending that maybe it's about, like I was saying, how we can look at things more positively. So I feel like this is an ending to some of the negativity and some of the fear. It's also the beginning of the school year and different things. So there'll be a shift. When Joe McCarthy was calling out all the communists in the 50s, and then over time, people started to realize it was just him on a power trip, and a lot of it wasn't real. So then eventually the American citizens went, wow, we got sucked into that. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting here, is that people are going to be, the hanged man is going, oh, that's how it is. It's not this way, it's this way. So and then the negative is a deep depression. Oh God, why did we, people going through a sad, sad time because they're realizing some things. And anyway, that looks like that they realize that chocolate chips are not the world, the end, be all and end all. Oatmeal raisin can be just as delicious. Oatmeal cookies are wonderful, especially if you use a little almond extract and some almond meal in there. It's really good. So, different perspective. Okay, that's September. This is October. So October is going to be a really insane month. Magician, positive, big changes, taking things into our own hands. Tower, and the Devil. So October is a huge, I saw this before in our chart for the United States. There's going to be a very amped up energy because we are building to the election. And I'm worried about the Tower. I mean, I'm going to try, let's just talk about the positive things. Big shifts, like the month before, big shifts in perceptions. And the Magician is about taking control, putting things into your own hands. You have all the tools. We have all the tools. We have all kinds of abundance and prosperity here in the United States. And we just need to harness it because we can. And everybody has the ability. And we do. It was once we do it together, we can do it. I mean, super cliche. We can do anything. There will be some people on the dark side that, well, actually, let me go back. The tower doesn't mean necessarily bad. It could be a surprising thing. people get really surprised and in a really positive way, like, oh, I won $1 million on the lottery. That's pretty much of a tower moment, because you're like, oh, I didn't expect that. It's like shocking. The other side of that is things getting taken away, things shocking us because we didn't expect them. And then the devil is about losing yourself in addiction and obsessions and that kind of thing. So that's the shadow side, is some really shocking, scary stuff, which if you really go dark to the end of it, it could be some explosions or violence of some kind because of the obsession. But we're in control of ourselves. So, and we also have, look at this. The country, we made our country on our own. We're a democracy, and that's what this card's about. Good thinkers, wise people, they're everywhere. Let's not get sucked into any of the drama, because there'll be a lot of that being talked about on television and podcasts and online. Stay in the zone of peace and harmony as much as possible, and don't let the fear and resentment and grievance get to you. You know, cookies are all good. Every cookie is delicious. Ace of Cups. So now we're into November. This is the election month. Ace of Cups. Very nice. Very good. Beginning of happy, emotional. And some of that I think is because we're going to be relieved. It's going to be finally. We can relax a little bit. Hierophant, which is typically government or high level of spiritual person, entity, mentor, and so leadership, a lot of leadership and judgment. And that's the ending, in judgment. And so I'm taking that as the election. So I do feel like no matter how it comes out, there's going to be a relief. It's over. We'll make our decision in November. But I still have an image of the news. It'll be over, but I still feel like the media, newscasters, writers, newspapers are really going to promote the antagonism, really going to promote our differences instead of the butter, sugar, and flour. But it's going to come to a head, especially in October and November. Peace will reign over the land. Now, the downside of that is judgment. Somebody's going to be ended. So one person will lose in November. Two people, I guess. Somebody's going to lose in November. Before in my readings, I feel like Biden will win. He will do it because I just feel like he will. I just feel like he'll win. People just are done with chaos and drama, and they may not like Biden 100%, but it's much less than the other person that'll probably get the nomination. So any negative that would be acceptance of the election that it didn't go your way. But I think as a country, it's going to be an ending. We're going to do some self-analyzing. We're going to look into the mirror and we're going to say, look what we did. But the Ace of Cups is the beginning of joy and peace and kind of moving forward. Then December, Page of Cups, which is young people, youthful offers, creative, dreamy talk. The Lovers, partnership, doesn't have to be romantic. Could be partnerships with other countries. It could be partnerships as a community, as a country. I do feel like somewhere along this year, I do feel like something is going to happen where we're going to be more united. There's going to be an event. I don't want to say anything like terrorism. But there is going to be an event that's going to affect us all to some degree where we forget about the differences. Knight of Swords. So December, a lot of things are going to pick up speed, a lot of activity, and this is about making plans for the future, thinking about action. This also could possibly mean aggressiveness towards people who aren't like them, aren't like each other. But for the most part, this is a beautiful combination. Lovers and Page of Cups. It's communication, really bonding, accepting, and moving forward. That's it, I think. So that is all of the year. Hopefully that made sense to you. The energies definitely peaks in September, October. Yeah, and doesn't mean have to be bad. I think we need to find commonalities, and that's where we should live if we can. Doesn't mean you have to agree with everything. Just find the things you can agree on and put the anger aside, right? Because we all want the same thing. We do. Or most of us want the same thing. Okay. I think that's it. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate any and all comments. That's it. Let's support each other's ingredients. There's chocolate chips and raisins and oatmeal. All are equally delicious. Okay. Till next time.